Hello, my PC students. In this assignment, we are going to start working with assignments where you don't get step-by-step instructions. So I'm going to go over this with the idea that you will look at it and say, is this how I completed my assignment? So I want you to go to File, Open, go to Browse, and then I want you to go to your classes drive. So I'll go to my classes drive, and I want you to go to your PC folder and classes. And now go to your teaching documents folder, and I want you to open up the one called XX Smith Family Budget. So open that up. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is save it in your folder. So we're going to go File, Save As, go to Browse. We want to go to your name. So make sure you go to your U drive, your name. We want to go to Print Com, and we want to go to Excel. All right, so what I want you to do is click in the file name box, press Home, and type your first name, and then type your current date, whatever it happens to be. Mine's the 24th of September. All right, and save it. Okay, good. Now, first of all, I'm going to go to View, put my zoom up so that I can see it on my screen easier. So I'm going to put in 140% and press Enter. Note that I've got the number symbols, right? Okay, that's not a problem. Remember, click on the letter B. This is the B. Hold down your Shift key and click on the letter G. All right, your vertical bar, double-headed arrow, left double click, and now you can see all your values. All right, the first thing I would say, you asked me for the months of the year. I'd click in January, drag it. April, I would drag it. So there it is, done for you, and you never typed in a thing. All right, now you need the totals here, and you need the first quarter total. So you say, all right, I'll put my cursor here in cell B4, hold down my Shift key. Note I have a blank column and I have a blank row. And what do? Alt equals. Very easy. You've summed it up. All right, you see the same thing. I put my cursor in cell F4. You hold down your Shift key, and you said, I have a blank column, blank row, Alt equals, done. Oh, I can't see that one, so double click here. All right, the next thing I ask you for is to find the total of the first quarter. Now we're going to have, I'm going to change that and put in sum first, equals sum. All right, and I want to take the first quarter total. Now I want two individual totals, not a range. So I have to use a comma so that I take that first quarter total and then I take the second quarter total. That's all I want to add. All right, press Enter. I'm going to widen my column, and now grab my fill handle and drag down. Now, did you notice that my dollar signs repeated? And remember, you can only have a dollar sign at the beginning of a column and add a total. So pick up any number here, go to your Home tab, double click on your paintbrush, and paint out your dollar signs. Now turn off your Format Painter. All right, one more thing left. We've got percent to do. Okay, you want to know how much was spent on food as compared to the total budget. So you've got equals, and you want to take your total for food, and as compared to, remember, means divide, or as a percent of, or in relation to, all those mean divide. So put your division symbol in, and we want to divide by the total. But remember here, we've got to compare food to the total, clothing to the total, transport to the total, and rent to the total, so that we get the appropriate amounts for each one. So your total has to be absolute. Another word for that, remember, is constant. Everyone has to be compared to the total, so it has to be absolute. All right, press Enter, and now drag your fill handle down, and you should end up with 100% because you're comparing total to total. And look at this. Your rent is 50% of your income. Little high. And your food looks like it's fairly high too. All right, so That's how easy it was. Save your work. Go Control S to save. Now you want to merge and center. So you're in cell A1. Hold down your Shift key. Click in K1. Go to merge and center. If you want to put a light fill in here, that's just fine. If we want to put a border on here, you could do that also. Remember, right click, go to Format Cells, and go to Border. Always choose your line style first. Choose a thick one so you can see it. And whatever color you want is fine. And now let's put one on the top, one on the bottom, and then change the color just so that you can show me you know how to do that. And put it on the left and put it on the right. And let's go, we already did a light fill, so that's good, that's done. All right, so now let's click off and let's make your row height. Remember, put your cursor here, horizontal bar, double head arrow, and I'm at 32.5 now. Come down to about 42, just so that you can see it. And you can see your orange lines, you can see your purple, whatever color you used. Now, if we want to center this up and down, remember we go to middle align. So there it's perfectly centered. All right, let's do your headings here just so that you can see that. So click in cell B3, hold down your Shift key. Actually, I think let's go with A3. Hold down your Shift key and click in K3. Right click, go to Format Cells, go choose your thick line. Choose a color. All right, this time I'll go with green, and I'm going to put it all the way around the outside, and then choose a different line style and a different color. So let's go with burgundy. All right, and put your middle line in here. Now, say OK, and let's widen it a little bit so that you can again see, and we will middle align your headings, and we'll also center them. So there we've got it. All perfect. All right, go Control S to save. And then you can do your, now let's name this sheet here, left double click, and let's call it budget. All right, save your work. And this, I'll do the headers and footers this time, but after that I'm not going to do them. You're responsible for those. So you're going to go to File, you're going to go to Print, and make sure you're on the right printer. And then I want you to go to Page Setup. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me get my printer here. It's unavailable. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go back here. Sorry about that interruption, but I had to stop and get my printer correct, which I did. So now, and you should be able to see an image on yours. Now, do you see that it says 1 of 2? If it says 1 of 2, you know you can't print. You're going to waste too much paper. So first of all, we go to Page Setup, and we choose Landscape. Then we go to Sheet, and we choose Grid Lines, Row Column Headings. Then we go to Header Footer, Custom Header. You type in your first and last name. And now remember, you go Shift Home, and I ask you to go to your font button, the capital A there. I want you to use size 16, 18, 20, something in there. I want you to use a different font each time. And if you want to use bold and italic, that's okay too. And I want you to use a font color. Anything goes, whatever you like. All right, say OK. In the center section, I want the date, press Enter, and the time. In the right section, we want the sheet name, press Enter, and we want to say Page, spacebar, OF, spacebar, Pages. So that's what your header will always look like. All right, say OK there. Now we're going to go to your footer, and we want the path and file name. And remember, it's the yellow folder. Path and file. Nothing in the center section so that it extends across, it doesn't run over anything. In the right section, if there's only one page, I want a picture. So I want you to go to Insert Picture, and I want to go to Bing, and we'll search for budget. Like search for a picture that's related to whatever you are doing. So search for budget, And now you've got different ones that you want to use. So I'll take this one. Looks all right. And I'm going to insert it. Okay, now your pictures, you know, usually come in large. So right away, go to Format and bring them down to about 40%. Now, once you got 40 here, press the Tab key and your width will show 40%, as long as the lock aspect ratio is on. All right, say OK, and say OK, and now OK one more time. So now my picture's way too big. Right? You can see how it covered. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go to Page Setup. I want to go back to Header Footer, Custom Footer, select my picture, and I'm going to have to go down to 10%. And you'll learn this as we go. You're going to find out that you never know what the picture's going to come in at, so you'll size it accordingly. Some days you're going to have to go down to 1%, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so now I've got it down to a reasonable size. Note you see your name, you see my name in this case, and you see your date and time. Sheet 1. Oh, okay, I got to go back and name that budget. I did, but I had a problem, remember, with the printer, so I got to fix up mine. Now, we still have got 2 pages. Take a look here. We've still got 2 pages. All right, so when you get in a situation like this, you don't print it. And so now what we want to do, and you can see the 2 pages, we're going to go to Page Setup. And here's how you fix that. You want to say Fit to 1 page. Just click on the Fit to radio button and say OK. So now your work, check it, says fits on 1 page. Let's go back to Page Setup, and the size was put down to 94. Now, when you say fit to 1 page, you can't go below 70 because it can't be read. So don't go lower than 70. So if you have to go lower than 70, then you can use your 2 pages. All right, so that's what your headers and footers should look like, and I want every document done like that. And did you see how the path and file name stretches over? So that's why I left that center section. All right, and now you are ready to print. And we'll stop here for the video.